All right, so let's talk about Apple versus Samsung, a very opinionated topic and can easily be turned into a war. I've been using the Galaxy S25 Ultra as my daily for well over a month, coming up on 2. And as someone who has been in the Apple ecosystem basically my entire adult life, I've got to say, Samsung is doing a lot of things right. And not just different, I mean genuinely better. Now, I'm not here to stir up drama or spark that fanboy war, believe me, because I still appreciate my iPhones. But there are a few areas where Samsung is just simply ahead, and Apple, for whatever reason, just hasn't caught up or is choosing to take longer to implement certain things into their own phones. So in this video, I want to walk through 4 things that Samsung absolutely, in my opinion, has gotten right, that Apple in 2025 just still hasn't figured out. My time with Samsung has made me realize just how lacking Apple has been, especially these past few years. So like I said, I still enjoy and appreciate my iPhones, and I love Apple as a company, think they are great, but they definitely have been lacking in innovation and just seem to have been missing the mark specifically in the iPhone realm. This isn't necessarily like a spec sheet battle. These are just real world everyday features that I've been using and that have made using the S25 Ultra more enjoyable than what I had with my iPhone 15 Pro. So all that being said, let's dive into the first one. Let's start with the obvious one here, Galaxy AI. This has quickly become one of my favorite features on the S25 Ultra, specifically for photo editing. We're talking Photoshop level edits directly in your gallery app. Want to remove a background, clone an object out of the frame? The phone does it fast. And most of the time, the results are shockingly really good. I tested Galaxy AI on photos I had already edited, shots I had deemed done, and yet with one tap, I could remove a power line here or clean up a distracting background over here. And it genuinely helped bring out some of the subjects even more than what I had already done. And it looked natural, like something I'd normally spend time on in Lightroom or Photoshop. And the biggest thing, this is all native. No apps, downloads, or subscriptions, no gimmicks, just all baked within the gallery app. Now compare that to Apple. They've been hyping up Apple Intelligence for a while now, but so far, it's basically still on the runway. You can't use it, you can barely test it, and it's unclear when or even if these tools will hit your phone. It's been one of Apple's bigger disappointments because the iPhone 16 lineup's whole marketing strategy to set it apart from the previous phones was that it was built specifically for Apple Intelligence. The 16 Pros just to me seemed like an absolute skip year without those features. I mean, Apple really hyped it up, especially Series rework, which they flat out just avoid talking about right now. I'm sure Apple has learned their lesson and probably will do a much more casual rollout even when they do get all the features up and running. But currently, Samsung's got the features now, and they're features I've been enjoying using quite a bit. Next, let's talk about displays. Yes, we all know Samsung makes OLED panels. Heck, they make Apple's OLED panels. But what Samsung's done with the usability of their display on the S25 Ultra, that's where they've pulled ahead. Between the brightness levels and the new anti-reflective coating, this phone has one of the most usable screens I've ever tested indoors and outdoors. I've taken this out in full sun, middle of the day, no shade, and I can actually see what I'm doing. In the camera app, I can compose shots, check focus, review footage. It's all visible. My iPhone 15 Pro looked great indoors all the time, don't get me wrong, but outside became a mirror, as most phones do. Half the time I was shielding the screen or guessing my composition. This is the kind of change you don't realize you need until you use it, but once you've had it, there's absolutely no going back. I've had multiple people see the screen on my S25 Ultra and actively say like, damn, that's a really nice screen. I know Apple had planned on including their own anti-reflective screen on the 17 Pro lineup coming later this year, but due to issues scaling up the production process, I guess, for the coating, they had to hold off until next year's iPhones. So again, we're just in the spot where Apple is just behind on what Samsung has already implemented in their devices now currently. All right, so let's talk cameras. More specifically, control. I absolutely love the amount of control the S25 Ultra offers, and being able to add Pro modes directly into my menu within the camera app is awesome. I think Samsung has designed their Pro modes within their camera app really, really well. It gives you everything very similar to what an actual camera would give you, just in a mobile phone layout. I really don't have an issue with how Apple does their camera app because the quality is next level, and iPhones do an incredible job capturing whatever it is you want, videos and photos alike. But I wouldn't mind seeing a few more options within the menus and customization within the native camera app, just like Samsung has included. This one really isn't going to matter to the majority of you out there, but if you're like me and nerd out about camera settings, Samsung has put everything at your fingertips. ISO, white balance, frame rates, you name it. Both the video and photo pro modes are fully outfitted to give you what you need to manipulate your shot the way you want it and need to for those gotta have it moments. Again, I don't necessarily dislike iPhone's current layout, but to me, using both, I just feel like I have a lot more accessibility within Samsung's native camera app. Now this next one gets talked about a lot, but for good reason. Customization. Samsung's One UI 7 is incredibly polished. You can tweak your home screen however you want, change grid sizes, swap icon packs, resize widgets. It's not just functional, it's yours. iPhone made an attempt with this in iOS 18, which was a welcome update with being able to place your icons wherever you wanted, and finally some color customization too on the apps. But iOS 18 also has its fair share of issues and bugs that kind of took away from all of it for me at least. Customization has always been something Android devices have had for a while now, and I've finally gotten to see just how in-depth you can get with your customization having this device. Now I myself, I'll be honest, I don't like to go too crazy with skins and other things like that. I like my native app icons and looks and overall prefer a simple and clean look on my device anyways, but it has been fun to explore different customization abilities on this device. I personally am a big fan of how One UI 7 looks, but I've seen some mixed opinions from the Android community on One UI 7. I haven't been here long enough to have one other than that I like it. I think it looks clean and it feels very smooth to use, and honestly doesn't feel too different from iOS, which is maybe why some people have an issue with it, but it still has so much customization built into it that it feels different and fresh. Now don't get me wrong, Apple has done an incredible job with iOS. I think it was one of the most efficiently designed systems out there prior to iOS 18. The absolutely awful Photos app and bugs everywhere really made it, in my opinion, one of the worst iOSs Apple has put out. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. I know that for sure. I'm hoping Apple has listened to the feedback and are going to address everything in now what I guess will be called iOS 26. They picked a very random time to match the OS with the year, but it's a welcome change, so I mean, I support it. Honestly, maybe they're just trying to get as far away from iOS 10 as possible because I don't blame them. So at the end of the day, it's not about picking sides. Both brands make amazing products, but I think it's important to give credit where it's due. Samsung has been shipping real-world features that improve your experience today, not 2 years from now. AI tools, better displays, intuitive camera controls, and deep customization. These aren't gimmicks, they're useful. And if you've only ever used Apple, I get it. It's familiar, it's easy. But if you're curious, if you've ever wondered what you might be missing, the Galaxy S25 Ultra is a great device to consider. Now, I will say, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows with it though. There are a handful of things that I think iPhones still do much better than Samsung, a topic I will dive into in next week's video. But for now, those are the 4 things that I think Samsung is absolutely nailing that for whatever reason, Apple just can't really get right now. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments below or if you have some different takes. I would love to hear them. That is it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you that tuned in to help support my channel. But as always, guys, that is enough tuning in, enough watching, enough consuming. Get out there, create something yourself. I will see you all in the next video.